call it the Mad Men indicator. If companies are truly feeling confident, they'll put their money where their mouths are and spend more on advertising. So are they ponying up? It's a topic everyone's talking about at the biggest ad conference of the year. It's in New York, and that's where Julia Boorstin is. And what's the verdict, Julia? Are they actually spending?
Aaron, yes, ad spending is back. Total U.S. ad expenditures in the first half of the year were up 6%. And judging from the cautiously optimistic tone here at Advertising Week, that trend is on track to continue. Now, traditional advertising is rebounding. TV ad spending was up 10% in the first half of the year, but there's also a huge focus on experimentation. One buzzword we're hearing a lot here today is cross-platform, as advertisers focus on reaching consumers on new devices like the iPad. And with the growth of smartphones, mobile ads are finally starting to come into their own. Also, social media in the spotlight, marketers telling us that they can't afford not to have a presence in Facebook and Twitter. A testament to brands' eagerness to experiment, Twitter CEO Evan Williams says that the demand for Twitter ads is so huge that demand is outpacing supply. Ad experimentation extends to new formats. AOL is rolling out its new so-called devil ads. Those are 4 times as large with a lot more video than their traditional ads. Right now, advertisers are demanding data on how those ads are performing more than ever, really wanting to make sure that their investments are paying off. But Aaron, the verdict is really still out on a lot of those new formats.
All right, Julia Boorstin, thank you very much. So good news from what Julia is hearing. Let's go back to the front lines with an ad man himself. Joining us, Nigel Morris, CEO of Aegis Media North America. Good to have you with us, Nigel. We appreciate it. I know you heard Julia's report. She's talking about, on Twitter where they have demand for ads exceeding supply. What do you see?
Well, the advertising market really has come back, but it is very different from the previous ad market. I think we're actually going to see a new golden age. We're almost going back to an age where we're as influential as Madison Avenue used to be, but it is extremely different. It is all about convergent digital technologies, and convergence is very different from what we anticipated. The market itself is actually atomized, but everything is interrelated and interdependent. So you have these new social platforms, mobile, transactional media. They are about experimentation, but they are delivering more accountability. And actually, it's the way that they interrelate with traditional forms like TV and like out of home that is really powerful, which is why you're getting that talk about cross-platform deals, cross-platform integration.
So is net spending overall with the clients that you deal with, and you're dealing with Reebok, Nikon, P&G, Pfizer, big names we all know, is their net spending up even though they're distributing it differently on the internet versus television, or not?
That's right. Spending is up. But as I say, it's not even, and there are certain sectors that are obviously very buoyant and certain sectors that are still struggling. The key thing is media that is accountable. Marketers are looking to pay and to get outcomes upon which they'll invest on. So previously, the industry was really governed by a series of benchmarks and a series of outputs, whereas what marketers are now saying is they'll invest, but they want to see what that return is going to be. And that return is about building brands, but also they want to see sales up.
So one way, this is sort of the fault line, at least as sometimes it's been presented to me, I'm curious what you think about it, and that is you've got Facebook now where you can advertise, people recommend things to their friends. In a sense, it's the most targeted way an advertiser could go, and you'd think you'd be able to measure return on that. Are advertisers trying to find a way to advertise via Facebook, say, instead of a Google?
Definitely. We're looking at every single form. I mean, Facebook, there are 500 million people on Facebook. What is quite interesting about the utility of Facebook is that you want to spend more time on Facebook. The utility of Google is actually, it's very powerful, but you want to be off of Facebook as fast as you can be. So you want to be off of Google as fast as you can be. So that's a really transactional form, whereas Facebook has the potential to build real engagement. So you can see it actually sits quite often at the center of an ecosystem where people are actually sharing ideas, people are sharing thoughts, and people are sharing content. This is where one of the characteristics that's very different about the media scene now than it was previously. is that scale builds bottom up from the consumer using their interconnectedness rather than top down, which is the amount of reach you can get through traditional channels.
All right. Well, Nigel, thank you very much. We appreciate it. And an interesting thought there to throw out there. You know, Facebook and Google try to say they're not competing and they're not in the same world. But more and more people you talk to, like Nigel, it does seem as if Facebook's rise could be a bit of a hit.